Namaskar. Welcome to Saheli podcast. Thank you for joining me. I'm your host Chitra Sharma. The topic I'm taking is from Layoff Diaries, the awkward phase, something many people experience but very few openly discuss. The days, weeks, and sometimes months after the layoff. The meeting ends, the email is stopped, the laptop is returned, and then comes an unexpected chapter, the awkward phase. A time filled with uncertainty, questions, self doubt, and the challenge of figuring out what comes next. If you have ever been there or know someone who has, this conversation is for you. People often say, and I also respond the same way, like, enjoy your freedom now, you have so much time, take a break and relax. And honestly, some of that is true. One thing I want to acknowledge is that not everyone experiences a layoff in the same way. It's easier to talk about finding yourself, pursuing your dream, or taking a break when the basic necessities of life are already taken care of. For someone who doesn't have to worry about paying the mortgage, school fee, school fees, household expenses, or putting food on the table because another family member is still earning, a layoff may create a space to pause, reflect, and explore new possibilities. But for many others, the reality is very different. When you are responsible feeding your children, paying the bills, covering healthcare, school fees, and all the everyday necessities means roti kapda or makan. A layoff can bring significant stress and uncertainty. In those situations, it's not always easy to think about passion projects, entrepreneurship, or self discovery. The immediate focus becomes stability, security, and finding the next source of income. That's why every layoff story is different. So, for some, it's an opportunity to reinvent themselves. For others, it's difficult period that demands resilience, courage, and practical decisions. Both experiences are valid. And perhaps the most important thing we can offer each other during these times is understanding. Because we never fully know the responsibilities someone is carrying behind the scenes. You you do get more time with family, more time for yourself, more time to try things you have been postponing for years. You can wake up without rushing, you can have breakfast without checking emails, you can spend an afternoon working on something that truly interests you. uh, Life becomes calmer in many ways, but there is also something else, a void, a feeling that's difficult to explain. Even when life is objectively better, something feels missing. You don't feel quite the same in social groups anymore. At first, people don't always know what to say. Some become overly sympathetic, some avoid the topic completely, others become awkward without meaning to. So, after my layoff, within 2 weeks, uh, one of my colleagues bumped into me in a grocery store. And I was excited to see her and was expecting that she would ask me about me and how I'm doing and all. But it was odd. She didn't even talk to me about anything. Just asked, "Do you know where this item is?" I didn't realize what happened. Means everything happened so quickly. Then after a while, it finally hit me that, oh, means I've been removed from the dream. So she was just very awkward around me. It was a strange feeling. At first, I didn't think it fully registered. So, some people reached out and checked in, some were kind and supportive. But what surprised me was most was that in uh, a few people I worked with every single day never contacted me at all. Means one person in particular, we worked closely together for 9 years, talked daily, discussed projects, challenges, office politics, and all all the little things that happens behind the scene in any workplace. And yet, after I left, not even a single message, not how are you doing, or not even a hope you're okay, nothing. Means at first that felt disappointing. But over time, I realized something important means many workplace relationships exist because of proximity and circumstances. Once the job is gone, some of these connections disappear with it. It's not always personal. It's just a reminder that professional relationships and personal friendship are often very different things. So, over time, these conversations become more natural and understanding. But initially, it can feel strange. One thing I noticed is that many of us build our identity around being busy. We are constantly saying that who has time? I don't have time. I have meetings. I'm swamped. I barely have time. Then suddenly that structure disappears. Ironically, you may be working harder than ever on your own projects, ideas, learning, writing, building, or creating. But people assume that you are free now. Means I have heard it many times. Well, you have plenty of time now. And my thought is no, my time is not empty. My time belongs to me. And for the first time in years, uh, I get to decide where it goes. That doesn't mean I'm available all day. In many ways, I'm busier than before, just on things that matter to me. And surprisingly, I've started enjoying those late night finishing tasks, building new ideas, and working on projects that truly excites me and bring me joy. So, yes, despite all of that, there can still be a missing piece, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling that comes from being part of something bigger, the feeling of completing a project, solving a difficult problem, or hearing someone say, "Great job." Many of us spend years chasing those moments, working late nights, taking calls at odd hours, handling stress and deadlines, sometimes feeling exhausted, and sometimes wondering why we are doing it. And if we are honest, a part of it is because work gives us a sense of progress and recognition, not always from ourselves, often from others. Then one day you step away from that world and start asking difficult questions like, was I doing it because I loved it, or was I doing it because it looked successful? Was I building my life, or was I building an image? Sometimes in those small gatherings, everyone talks about how busy they are, what company they are at, what project they are leading. And if you're honest, many people are speaking or talking, but very few are listening. I don't think anybody's listening. That is why I believe a layoff can become an opportunity, not because losing a job is easy, not because uncertainty is fun, but because it gives you a chance to stop running on an autopilot. Don't waste this time trying to recreate exactly the same life you had before. Use it to ask bigger questions. Means, what do you actually want? What excites you? What kind of work would you do if nobody was judging you? What dream have come? What dream have you postponed for 10 or 20 years? For the first time, you have the opportunity to become your own boss, to build something, to create something, to learn something, to write that book, means launch that website, start that business, teach, paint, travel, volunteer, create content, help others, or simply become the version of yourself that never had time to exist before. A layoff closes one chapter, but it also hands you a blank page. And what you write next may become the most meaningful work of your life. Sometimes, what feels like a career interruption is actually life giving you permission to pursue the dreams you kept postponing. The job was one chapter, and you are the whole story. The job was one chapter, you are the whole story. Thank you for listening to Saheli podcast. I'm Chitra Sharma. Until next time, keep creating, keep learning, and keep believing that every ending can become a new beginning. Namaste and Ram Ram to all.